Welcome to FX Options University, recorded live at the International Securities Exchange, the world's largest equity options exchange. Join the industry's top trading professionals as they provide insight and strategies for trading in the currency markets using FX options. FX options are a low-risk alternative to hedging currency moves in any market condition.
If you have any questions, please type them in. We're about to conclude this week's webinar, but I do have one more question, Jack, and this is for me. Bill Gross from PIMCO said he thinks that 2010 is the year of the exit strategy. And I think, paraphrasing him, what he said was that he believes that governments all throughout the world have to really exit the markets, but they need to do it as seamless as possible. Do you believe in that? And I guess, are you looking for that kind of thing to strengthen the dollar?
Yes, we do believe it, and we do think it will help the dollar. There's a big debate going on among the academic, and the big thinkers, I guess, in the money market world. A lot of stuff that is beyond us because it's a very complicated area. But one of the big debates going on now is the fact that, and you see it with Japan. I think Japan was a good example. When you have interest rates at zero, a zero interest rate strategy, it creates major dislocations in the interbank lending market. And what happens is when you have dislocations on the interbank lending, when banks that have money can't give some to those that need it who have lending opportunities but don't have money, it's part of the reason why banks are sitting on so much cash but not getting it into the real economy because the Fed has interest rates at zero. It creates that dislocation, and that interbank lending market on the short end of the curve is critical for forcing money into the real economy. So we think that will change. We think, just even from a technical standpoint, we know that the Obama administration, who we have a lot of criticisms about, needless to say, but we think they're on to the fact that, and everybody can see it, money's not getting to the real economy. So that exit strategy that PIMCO talks about, I think, is part and parcel to that technical change that will normalize the markets on the short end and create more credit for businesses, the people that need it, and will help the dollar yield.
Yeah, that makes sense. And if we don't exit, then, like you said, that would probably mean the dollar, or at least if we don't exit it to the same degree that the other governments do, the dollar might be in trouble.
That's right. Back to her point. That's where we're wrong. Right.
Right. Jack, I want to give you a moment to just give any closing comments, and I also just want to remind everyone, because I'm getting a lot of questions about what Jack's services are. Please go to blackswantrading.com. You can send an email at info@Black Swan Trading to learn more. But Jack, just please give us a closing, your closing comments.
Yeah, I guess my comments would be just start taking a look at this stuff and trying it. Look at some of these major relationships and do some of these overlay charts and just start to think about some of these relationships. And I think you will be surprised how quickly you start to say, hey, it opens up, a whole world of stuff. And it did for me when I started doing intermarket analysis many years ago. I do a lot of it. You don't need to do that much, but once you get onto a few of these things, you'll start to gain some confidence when you see it helping other parts of your analysis, and I think you'll become quite quite adept at it very, very, very quickly. So don't be afraid of it. And remember, I think as Steve summed it up earlier, it's about thinking logically, and I think ultimately some of the best traders in the world, which I'm surely not even, in the ballpark, but I think some of the really big traders that you read about in the Market Wizards and some of those guys, some of them just, have, very few of them have these holy grail systems, but in general, when these guys talk about trading, you can see that they think very logically. Things make sense, and I think they see the world very, very well, much better than most of us do. And I think the ability, what opens up the ability for us to start to, at least inch towards them a bit is this idea of intermarket analysis. So that's how that's why I think it's so important.
Well, Jack, it makes a lot of sense, and I really appreciate every time that you visit us here at the ISC. I learn something, so I want to thank you on behalf of the huge crowd that we had today. And I can't wait for you to come back in about 6 weeks or so. Just looking at the schedule, I think it's March 11th that you're going to be back again. So really looking forward to that, Jack. Thanks again.
Thanks, Steve. I really appreciate you having me. Thank you, everybody, for hanging on so long and your great questions. I really appreciate it.
Thanks again. That was Jack Crooks. And again, if you're interested in Jack's services, you can go to blackswantrading.com or send an email, info@blackswantrading.com. I'm sorry, info@blackswantrading. Just to remind everyone, we have webinars, of course, at the IAC, trade alerts. We just launched a lot of new functionality at our fxoptions.com website. We have a trading contest for those of you that live in the States. So lots of stuff. We have a trader forum. If you want to jump on board and participate in FX options, you can talk about some questions. Please join us, participate. That's how you learn. And as Jack said, common sense is really paramount when you're trading. So if you start to think there is a holy grail, there really isn't, but common sense really needs to prevail. Continue to come back to the webinars. Next week, we have John Person with us, and we'll be talking about how seasonality impacts currency options. And then I'm going to be doing my Back to Basics on January 27th, which FX option strike price you might want to trade. And then on February 2nd, I'll be giving another presentation talking about how order flow impacts the FX options prices. So please join us when we bring in a special guest like Jack. There's really no other place that you can catch these live presentations, tons of guests. Also, we have my Back to Basics, and we also have Trading Central coming on with some of their opinions. Join us real soon. Again, that's next week, January 26th. And if you want to listen to Jack again, you can come to fxoptions.com, listen to the archive, and I'd urge all of you to sign up for his free currency current, and you might be interested in those other services. You can go and check it out at blackswantrading.com. I want to thank all of you for attending, and I'm looking forward to having you all come back real soon, hopefully next Tuesday. Thanks again to Jack Crooks. Really appreciate it. Jack, if you're still on the line, thank you. Have a great evening, everyone, and looking forward to you coming back real soon. Thank you on the behalf of the International Securities Exchange. This is Steve Meisinger saying have a great evening. Bye now.
Thank you for participating in this week's session. Please join us again next week. Get trading ideas, exchange rates, webinars, news, and commentary. Visit www.fxoptions.com. ISE FX options can be easily traded through all options-enabled brokerage accounts. These exchange-listed securities are cash-settled in U.S. dollars and have a European-style exercise.